Beautiful people of planet Earth, welcome back once again. I wanted to play a video for you that I recently did as a presentation at an AI Masterclass, and I spoke specifically on something I get asked a lot about, which is my process for creating all of the repurposed content, social video, reels, all of that stuff, and specifically how I do it, my entire workflow in Descript. And so I thought I would share this with you. I'm going to edit it down so that you just have the meat of the presentation. There was Q&A afterwards, and there was some other sort of things going on. I'll just take all that stuff out so that we just have the meat of the presentation. You're able to go through my entire workflow on Descript to create all kinds of different and creative videos with captions, and how you can take your content that you record like this and be able to repurpose it and use it all over the place for a very long time, and how Descript is just an incredibly powerful program that allows you to do that, and for you to take that content and be able to rise above the noise and differentiate yourself as a creator. Descript has a lot of different functionalities. So once you create this sort of process for yourself, you can really get in the groove and create something that is really impactful for the audience that you serve. So here you go. This is my presentation on Descript from a recent AI Masterclass. I hope you enjoy it. I believe that repurposing content is something that you can do to make money while you sleep, make impact with people long beyond your life here on this planet. But what I truly believe in is that when you're talking about repurposing, you cannot repurpose without first having a purpose. Let that sink in a little bit. Please remember this. When you're repurposing your content, whether it's a recorded video that you're doing, a podcast that you're doing, whatever, you must first have a purpose. Don't just think that you can take some AI application, take your content, throw it in, and whatever it rubber stamps and spits out to you, that you're going to be able to throw that on your social media and that it's going to have an impact. What's going to happen instead is if you do that, it's going to look like everybody else's, and it's going to be mediocre. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about Descript, and it's more than just a transcription program. It's a great content editor and a fantastic thing for your video, so that instead of just throwing your content into something and everybody having the same Alex Hormozy font and the same thing with captions going over people's eyes, you're going to have engaging social media content that is branded like you, that you can pull in your own B-roll footage, that you can pull in captions that match your particular hex code of your particular font, your particular brand, things that stand out on social media, so that it's not something that you're just like trumpeting out to people. People are actually like, what the heck is happening? I am so engaged in this stuff. I'm going to go through my entire process and kind of show you how I do this with Descript. This is what Descript looks like, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks pretty boring, but trust me, it gets really exciting real quick. And in the interest of time, and for this particular demonstration, I've done a lot of stuff already, so it's just going to populate really quickly so we can talk about how this stuff works. Just know you need to be connected to a pretty high-speed internet connection, or else it's going to take kind of a long time, maybe 5-10 minutes or something, for everything to be imported, if you've got a rather large file, for the transcription to work and all that. But I've done that already. We don't have to sit around and wait for this stuff to work. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to hit New, and you're going to hit Video Project, and it's going to look something like this. This is where you're going to import your project. So if you have a video, the cool thing about Descript is, I don't know if you guys have figured this out yet, but Squadcast is now a part of Descript. So you already have a video recording program that's built into your subscription here in Descript. But if you already use Ecamm Live, you already use StreamYard, you already use any of these programs that do this, you're going to get these video files, and I'm going to show you how to do this really quickly. Here is a video that I've already imported. It's a widescreen video, and this is a talk that I did at Alex Sanfilippo's Podcasting Made Simple Live, and it's just a talk, and you could see right here in Descript, here at the bottom, it tells me it's a 16-minute and 41-second talk. And just like any other audio or video editor, you're going to see the sound here at the bottom. You could hide this if you want to hide it. If you want to show it, you can do that. So if you want to edit down here, utilizing a blade tool like this, you can cut something, you can do this kind of thing, but we're not going to do that. We're going to actually show you this really cool thing that you can do in Descript where you can edit utilizing the transcript. And then that way we can cut up these 1-minute things and you'll be able to create a whole bunch of really cool social media content. And I'll show you some of the AI functions that keep getting better and better every single day with Descript. So first things I'm going to do is I'm going to create a vertical version of my video. This is a wide version of it. How weird does that look on my face? Okay, let's find another look on my face. That's worse. All right, so we're going to go up here and I'm going to change the aspect ratio to portrait because I want to create a vertical video, but you can also create a square version. So if you wanted to create a square version, you're going to see this, which is better for Instagram. It does create these black bars above and below me, but a real quick, easy way for you to fill it, or maybe you want to leave it like this and maybe put your captions below it or above it, you can do that. But a real quick, easy way to do it is to click this position and then fill canvas. And what that's going to do is it's going to fill the entire canvas. And that's square though. I wanted to create a vertical version of it. So I'm going to go here and I am going to click on this and click portrait. So that's a 9:16 aspect ratio, and that's good for TikTok. It's good for YouTube Shorts. It's good for Instagram Reels. And then I'm going to fill the canvas here by clicking position and fill canvas. And now it's me. Hello, it's me in my entire video. And if I were to hit play, let me know if you can hear my voice that's playing on this thing. Hit 1 if you can hear my voice in Descript, please. If you cannot, okay. So doesn't matter. You hear my voice right now. That's all that matters. So another thing I like to do now, how about this? I got my hands in the air. I'm waving them like I just don't care. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to create a captioning that's going to go across my entire 16-minute video right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click at the beginning of the video and I'm going to go up here to the top and I'm going to click on this and I'm going to go, which is your templates. And then I'm going to go to gallery. And then on gallery, there's a bunch of cool things that you can do here. You can do titles, you can do all kinds of different kind of cool things. But my favorite part of Descript is this. They do a great version of captions, and you have all kinds of different types of captions that you can select for your videos, and you can make these each your own. You can change the colors, but this just gives you the general style. My favorite is right here, this outline with green. So I'm just going to click on that, and it's going to show you how it shows right here. And then when I click play, you're going to see along the bottom that it highlights the word that's being spoken. But it looks small to me. I want it to be more impactful, right? And so what I'll do over here is I'll go over to this and I'll click on all caps. So every word is in uppercase. So now we're getting more impactful. You can click here and I can move it out of my face. Now on these AI applications that spit out a bunch of social media for you, they don't always, sometimes it's like this. You can't even see my eyes. There's no point in that. So in Descript, you can move it out of the way. Let's change the color. I want it to be more branded for me. If you have a particular hex code for your brand, you can enter it here, which is very cool. Let me get a little more magenta. Let me get a little more pink. There we go. And I'm going to make the font bigger. I'm going to make it 100 because we're all making it 100 here. And then I'm going to change the font. Now, here's a cool thing. You can search for cleared fonts. It searches Google fonts. The other thing you could do is you can upload your own font if you have it and you have clearance to do so. You could totally do that. I love this font here. This is my favorite. And now when I click play, I have something that's a lot more impactful as I'm reading it. So now it's looking a little more close to what I had shown you here, right? So we're going to go back here. Now, here's the cool function here. This is a 16-minute vertical video now. That won't work on any platform, really. I suppose you can post it on YouTube, but who's watching that? So we're going to create something that's 59 seconds or less, and that would work as a YouTube short, work at an Instagram Reel, TikTok, all the tubes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and look in my particular presentation, and I'm going to carve out a 1 minute portion of this. And here it is. Here's one. I'm going to start right here. We're going to figure out the best way for you. And watch what happens here. When I select this with Descript, it starts to light up as I'm going along here. And if you look up here, it tells you, as I'm highlighting the transcript, it tells you how many words and how long your particular section is. And so far, this is only 9 seconds. So for purposes of demonstration, I'm just going to select about a 1 minute portion here. And let's go down to about here, years and years afterwards. All right, so here is just about a 51-second video. And so at this point, it's just this thing that I've highlighted, but I'll create a new composition with this 51-second highlight, and I'll just right-click on this. I'll go down to Duplicate To, and I'll click New Composition. Duplicate to New Composition, and watch what happens. Now above my head here, you'll see Selection Added to New Composition, and I can open it. So now I click Open, and now I have a 51-second clip from my 16-minute talk that tells a little bit of a story. But again, it's just me talking, and it's just my head, which can get boring. On social media, you want to have some pattern interrupts. You want to have some videos going on. You want to tell a little bit of a story and kind of get something that looks a little bit more like this, right? So here's how we do it. The wonderful part of Descript, another one of the wonderful parts of Descript, is the slash key, the / key. This creates a new scene. Over here on the left, remember I told you this was the scenes bar? Every time I hit a slash, it creates a new scene. Boom. The show's done is what this says. And then there's a pause, and then think about this foremost. And then I'm going to select, I don't know, maybe about a 10-second. Here's a 7-second, about a 10-second clip, and I'm going to hit the slash key again. And now I've got 3 scenes. I've got the first scene where I'm talking for a few seconds. I've got the second scene where I'm talking about 10 seconds, and I've got the third scene, which is the rest of the content. But right now we're going to work on this middle scene that I created, scene 2, and it says show's done. So think about this first and foremost. I want to talk about something that many people don't talk about when it comes to podcasting. It's legacy. All right. So I want to pull in some media for this. I want to pull in some stock footage. That a lot on social media, right? So let's make something cool. You can pull in your own footage, your own B-roll, maybe a picture of yourself doing something related to legacy, or yourself like doing whatever. You can do that here as well. So the way to do that is to go up here and click on this, which is your media. And when you click on media, you have an option to upload your own files. And you can see I've got some of my own files that I've uploaded related to this particular presentation. It's pictures of me doing some plexicam and some multicam stuff because that's a part of this presentation. But I can also click on videos, GIFs, images, and audio as a part of this. And this will input whatever I put in here into this particular scene that I'm doing. So right here, if I type in the word legacy, because that's what I'm talking about, right? So I type in legacy and I hit enter, and now it's pulling up a bunch of videos. Look at this video here. This actually looks like something I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on this, and this will take that video and it will just plop it right on top of that scene. That looks stupid, right? It just looks dumb. It looks sloppy. That's not my style. And so what I'm going to do right here is, remember when I told you I could fill the canvas with this? So I'm going to go up here to position and I'm going to go fill canvas. Now I've got somebody that looks like he's creating a legacy on his laptop. So here we go. And now we have a stock video. But what happened to the captions? The captions are underneath it. So the way Descript works is a lot like Photoshop or Canva or things like that. You've got stuff that are layers on top of each other. And so in this particular case, if you look over here on layers, you've got this video that I've posted here. It says relaxed company, then your captions, then the actual video, which says script, which is a video that was from your transcript. So I take this video and I just move it backwards, right? Because it's on top. And if I move it backwards, then the caption will go on top of it. So I right click it and I go to layer order and I bring it backward. Boom. And now my caption is back here. My caption's a little bit low. It's like over his shoulder. You can also adjust your captions so that it's like in a really good spot. And this kind of seems really good. So now when I click play, it goes from scene 1 where I'm talking to scene 2 where this image is that we just created, and then back to me again. So there you go. So that's the way that works in terms of creating a single thing. But I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm going to show you how to do it with a podcast. So I'm going to go back here. For my podcasters, these are all my clients that I serve right here. And I'm going to click on this particular one, which is the Pipe podcast. And I'm going to go here to, let's click on this one. This is because this one's related to AI. Because this is my AI podcast people. I love this. So now I'm going to show you how it works with importing a podcast. So if you use Ecamm, if you use StreamYard, if you use Squadcast, programs like this, when you record your podcast video, you can set it to where you can record an isolated video of you, let's just say you're the host, and another isolated video of the guest. And what Descript will do is if you can pull those isolated videos in, it creates a sequence. The sequence is like pouring gas on your video podcast. It aligns everything up, and the way this stuff works, it's amazing. So I have pulled in, this is one guest, one host on a particular podcast. It identifies the speakers. So in this case, Crispin Cruz is the host, and the guest, will scroll down, is Usman Sheikh. And so these two are talking back and forth, but you can see over here, it's just Usman that is showing. But remember, layers, Usman is actually on top of Crispin. So if I go over here and I click this eyeball and close this eyeball, now you see, oh, there's Crispin. And so now we're going to undo this. And so we've got these two guys, they're plopped on top of each other. Okay, so just imagine you've got a host on top of guest, or guest on top of host, yes, in terms of layers. At any point in time, if you're just curious how a sequence looks, you can go down to this area here at the bottom and right click. Let me click on this, see if it'll let me do it. And edit sequence, it's not allowing me to do it. Okay, here we go. I'm right clicking and I click edit sequence just to have you peek under the hood here and you can see what the sequence looks like. This is what it looks like in terms of, those of you who have edited video or edited audio, this will look very familiar to you. You've got guest here talking on the top and you've got host here talking on the bottom. They're separate tracks. But they're layered here on top of each other in the sequence. And the way to do this is to do what I told you before, is you create a portrait version of this, right? And so now you've got Usman here, and you've got, if I were to click and to drag Usman, look who's underneath him. Hello, there's Crispin. And so we're going to do this, and let's create something that looks like a podcast video, right? We'll get each one of them sized about properly. And now we're starting to look like we got a video going on, right? Now we look like we got something that's engaging. All right, but I'm going to do something. This is the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest AI function of Descript I'm about to show you. So I'm going to undo this, and I'm going to go and I'm going to fill canvas with Usman, and then I'm going to fill the canvas with, hang on, sorry. Let me put him behind, and let me fill the canvas here with Crispin. So now we're back here. We've got both of these guys filled up. All right. This is my favorite AI function of Descript. It's called Add Scenes by Active Speaker. So it had identified each one of the speakers, but I want each time a speaker speaks to have that person show up on the video. Watch this. I'm going to go up here to the actions bar. This is where all the AI goodies are. And if I click actions and then I go to add scenes by active speaker, every time a speaker speaks, we have a new scene. So watch this. I'm clicking add scenes by active speaker. And now look at that. Every time the speaker speaks, their scene changes. So I'll show you what that means. If I go up here and Crispin is talking and I hit play, you're going to see him talking. And now it's switching. I'm not doing anything. I've got my hands off and it's switching by itself. Descript automatically did that. So now if I create captions that go on top of this, I'm going to have something that engages. Somebody asks a question and it's going back and forth. And just like all the functions that I showed you originally with me doing the solo episode, you can do the very same thing with your podcast, putting captions below them, carving out the back by hitting green screen, putting some cool things behind them, telling stories with social media so that it looks way more engaging, something that looks more like this, where you can play around, tell stories, and do that in under 59 seconds. And it will impact people much more than just throwing it into some sort of program and using what everyone else is using and creating something that is not mediocre, that stands above the rest, stands above the noise, and helps to impact your audience and your listeners. So I appreciate everybody for hanging out. I know I talked really quickly. I know it was a lot of information for you, but I really wanted to run through my entire workflow with you on Descript and kind of show you just how powerful that this is. Again, it does come with Squadcast as well. So if you're looking for more of a utility knife, not necessarily like I'm going to pay for this and I'm going to pay for this, I'm going to pay for this, it's a great way to start recording video and doing whatever you can to repurpose your content. This is my contact information. It's chrisstone.contact. You can connect with me wherever, LinkedIn, on all the tubes, my email address. And of course, I'm the co-host of a podcast called Dealcasters, and we go live in Amazon and solve people's problems in the biggest mall of the world. So there you go.